Folks, I've had this video in the can for a while now, but I wanted to do it because I've learned a lot by watching other people's aquarium builds. So I hope by showing you this video, it might give you an idea or two for your next aquarium build. But first, I want to rewind and go back to what this tank looked like a year ago. This is my 20 tall before it got its makeover, with the same old white gravel I had in there for about 6 years. So, the 20 tall getting a makeover coming up right now. It was a beautiful day in sunny Southern California when I did this build, but the way the weather was outside, why not? Now this is an old 20-gallon Tetra aquarium kit that I bought at Petsmart about 6 years ago. I'm not sure if you can even get them anymore, but I don't have many complaints. I've upgraded several of the accessories over the years, but the actual aquarium itself is built like, I'm gonna do it folks, like a tank. Very sturdy, no leaks. It served me well now in its 7th year. So once I drained out all the water, I moved my fish, my driftwood, and the Anubias I wanted to keep for the new build in a bucket with an air stone, no pun intended again, like an Airbnb, for the fish and the plants. And while they were resting there, took the aquarium outside, cleaned it in the rain with vinegar and hydrogen peroxide, brought it back into the house, and the first layer of substrate that was going to go down is Seachem Flourite Black. I have that already cleaned out with my biomedia in a bucket of tank water ready to go. Now the Seachem Flourite Black does get pretty dusty, so you want to make sure you clean that very, very well. And that was the first layer of substrate going down. Now to give the plants a little kick in the root, I wanted to add some Flourish tabs as well, just to give them a good kickstart. Now Flourish tabs are a very good comprehensive root tab, and I like to use them as a good starter for my plants. Tried to put them about 1 inch or 2 apart. Maybe I got a little greedy, but better for the plants. Now the main ingredient and the main substrate is Brightwell Aquatics Florin Volcanit Rio Escuro-F. It is a mouthful to say, but it is a wonderful substrate. That went in on top of the Flourite Black and the root tabs, and I had some experience with the Florin Volcanit substrate in my 2.6 gallon fluval spec. I love the look, and I love that it is a porous substrate. So you don't get a lot of gas buildup under this, like you would with some other substrates. And to break down the mouthful, that is Florin Volcanit Rio Escuro-F. The Rio Escuro simply refers to the black version of the substrate as opposed to Rio Cafe, which is the brown version, and the F stands for fine particle. You can buy this substrate with larger particles or smaller. I opted for the fine. I like the look of that. And I'm able to anchor plants with the fine substrate. And the Florin Volcanit referring to the fact that this is a fired volcanic ash-based substrate. Now on the left-hand side of the tank, I wanted to slope it and have a little more substrate there because that is where my Amazon sword is going to go. And the swords are heavier root feeders, so I wanted to make sure I had that covered. Once that was in, my first piece of driftwood went in with Anubias Nana. On it, that Anubias Nana was super glued with Seachem Flourish glue and started filling up the tank. Now I didn't want to disturb the substrate, so I poured my dechlorinated water into a plastic measuring cup. Now you can use a plate, there's a lot of ways you can do this, so as not to disturb the substrate. I just had a plastic measuring cup lying around and it worked just great. I took the other driftwood and Anubias out of the bucket and started placing that around the tank. And at this point it was all Anubias. It was an Anubias party.
It's party time!
If you're an Anubias, go easy on the fertilizer, guys. Now, once I had that done, I kept filling up the tank and I planted my Bacopa, another easy plant to work with, on the right and left-hand sides of the driftwood in the back left. And I added my Dragonstone in the middle. Now, this is Seiryu Dragonstone. I purchased this from the good folks at Aquarium Co-op. I don't know if they sell it anymore, but if not, there's a lot of places you can buy Dragonstone online, and I just love the look of it in the tank. Once that was set, I started planting, and I chose easy plants on this build. So on the left-hand side is the Amazon sword. To the right of that is Anubias lanceolata, which didn't come very healthy, unfortunately, in the mail, and water wisteria. All easy plants, especially water wisteria, and I tried a little bit of Starogani repens. This is a tissue-cultured Starogani repens plant. I didn't think I'd have enough light penetration in a 20 tall to reach it, but I wanted to try it anyway. Now you can see this brown mark on the Anubias lanceolata. not looking too good. The wisteria looked great. And the sword in the back looked very good as well, but the lanceolata ended up dying, and you see that brown mark on it. It wasn't healthy, unfortunately, when I got it in the mail, and I will show you what I did with that here in a second. But overall, I like the look of the tank. It was the look I was going for. The Bacopa, looking good as well. Now, what I ended up doing with that lanceolata, it was a dead plant, so I removed that, and I probably used a little bit too much super glue when I attached it to that piece of driftwood, but I did end up taking that out of the tank. This is about a week later. I planted the Starlgani repens with a hope and a prayer, hoping my light would be strong enough to penetrate and give me some growth. I added some foxtail as well in the back to make up for the Anubias lanceolata I had to remove. I ended up removing both plants, unfortunately. But that is the initial build of the 20 tall, and I'm going to have some follow-up videos because I learned a lot about this build very quickly in the weeks after this build was done. This is 3 months later. Added some Telanthera cardinalis on the left-hand side. Stem cuttings from my 10-gallon tank. Hopefully that video was helpful to you folks. The den is now on Instagram at dmichaelsfishden. Join me if you are so inclined. Please like, comment, and subscribe for future content. Thank you for the support, and as always, thanks for watching.